Good day. God bless you guys. Welcome back. My name is Zach Attack, and this is episode 56 in the Healthy, Wealthy, Happy series. Um, Third book of John, chapter 1, verse 2. Dear friend, I pray that you may enjoy good health and that all may go well with you, even as your soul is getting along well. So another Bible verse where we can see they connect to the mind, the soul, the inner man, the spirit with the physical condition. So, like I've been saying the whole time, get your mind right, get your spirit right, get your relationship with our Lord Jesus right. And the rest of this is going to be a lot easier. Quote, success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. And that's what I've been preaching this whole time. Just let's just promise ourselves one thing, that no matter what we do, what we try, how many times we fail, how many times we get knocked down, we're just never going to give up. And that is the courage we need to win this battle. So I'm on day 2 of the small meals. As you can see, I'm rotated around again because I am overhauling this efficiency. So please excuse the mess. I got more shelves and I got my books moved around. I switched my bed around. I need to buy a TV stand tomorrow, so I couldn't finish because I didn't have everything I need yet. So excuse the background drama, but it's all gonna come together in the end. So I'm on day 2 of those small meals, and I really like it. I feel less and less. This doesn't feel very disciplined at all. Like, this is pretty easy. When you get a few 400 calorie meals that you like the salads I've been eating, there's no way they're 400 calories. I think I even started counting them as like 200 or 300, because like the one I just chopped up a few hours ago, it was just, lettuce and pea pods and cucumbers and red peppers and onions, and it just doesn't add up to hardly any calories. And then now that I'm putting the 0 calorie, when I was putting the balsamic vinaigrette that had calories in it, well, then it was a 400 calorie salad, but now I'm using 0 calorie. It's basically the same balsamic type dressing. It just has minus the sugar, so there's no calories in it. I can't even believe I bought the other stuff in the beginning with. I guess I just needed to figure out what the hell I was doing there. So I don't feel very disciplined at all. Like, this just, I feel full all day. Once you get rolling with it and you train yourself to, I'm just going to eat this 300 or 400 calories and then I'm good. I'm just going to go get busy and do anything, just to burn up, at least an hour, but 2 or 3 hours. And then, I'm going to come right back up and eat again. And then I'm going to eat again. And then I'm going to eat again. It feels pretty awesome. By the time the end of the, half of the day gone by, or 3/4 of the day has gone by, you're almost like you don't even want to finish the rest of the food you have to eat. Like last night when I made my video, it was a little later than this. I'm on a little early today because I got some things done today and was kind of just chilling in my apartment just now. And I was like, hey, I might as well go live. Oh, I left my shirt off. Thought we could see. Maybe I'll stand up here in a little bit. Get another little shot. I was hoping to be down more by now, but just looking at my chart, I think it's about time to give a little stand up. And maybe I just, for my own records too, to go back and watch the other video, and maybe I'll I'll add it in the description of this video of what other video it was that I stood up, because I don't remember. It might have been 11. No, 11 I just zoomed down and showed my stomach. It might have been 12 or 13 or 14, somewhere in there. So I'm gonna have to go back and check that out, and then I'll watch that one, and then I'll watch today, and we'll see. So I feel like my weight is staying down more than it had been in the previous 4 days of eating, especially because I'm just not eating any kind of big meal at once. And then, like I said, I woke up and I took my cleansing capsules again today. Took 2 of those, and they're very gentle. They take quite a long time to take effect, so you really don't even notice it. But then it was after lunch today, I was like, whoa, yeah, I'm feeling something. So I'm happy somebody had recommended him to me, and I was like, okay, I'll give him a try, because I've used more like the really wipe you out type cleansing ones. And it got recommended to me to just use like a daily one that's just adding, some herbs and fiber and whatever is in the supplement. It's a bunch of herbs, basically. help move things along. And of course, I'm getting tons and tons of fiber. So, um, oh, speaking of recommendations, so I started using those. And then yesterday, one of the live viewers had commented about Dr. Berg on YouTube. And I said, yeah, I think I've watched that guy's video. So I went and checked, and it's like, yeah, I was already subscribed to his. I guess I just didn't look at his name before. I just he's got a bunch of great videos, you could say, Zach, why bother watching your YouTube channel when there's all this other information out there? It's like, well, that's what this channel is about, is accessing all that information, and then a guy that's actually doing it. You're not seeing that doctor do anything he's talking about. He's just saying that this is what the science is, this is what the research is, and I'm here to say, okay, let's try that out. And just something I picked up off of him, and I had brought it up in the past. Let me just say what he said first. But he's talking about eating fruit compared to vegetables. Eat your fruits and vegetables. And he's like, how they got lumped together is kind of ridiculous because they're so different. One has high fiber and very low calories and very low sugar and glycemic load, where the vegetables, and then fruit. A lot of fruits are just so high in sugar. They're like 75-80% sugar. They have almost no protein, no fat. Like an apple has no fat, 1 gram of protein. So what's the rest? There's only 3 things it could be. So the rest is sugar. So, and I think apples are good for you. I eat apples. But this Dr. Berg, he's just saying, like, this is the kind of, these are the, if you're healthy and ripped and working out, then yeah, you need those sugars, but we're talking about recovering from, being fat is a medical condition that you need to handle. You don't take this lightly. Maybe I need to just start stressing a little harder of how dangerous and deadly it is to be so overweight. I'm still overweight, so I'm using this motivation to find my true self. Find where I need to be, what I need to be doing. And so just after watching, I had watched 2 or 3 of his videos yesterday before I went live. And then it was funny. Somebody says, do you know that guy, Dr. Berg? And then I go back and double check, and it's like, oh yeah, that was him. So I watched 3 more of his videos today, just a little while ago. I was finishing up my calories for the day, and really good videos. The guy's just got a ton of information on his channel, and it's nice to hear it from from a doctor that hey, maybe eating your fruits is not all that great. He showed like a glycemic load compared to like glycemic index of a carrot, where if you look at the glycemic index, which is like total carbs in it, a carrot says is like 91, or like super high. But then if you look at glycemic load, which is how much does it actually affect your blood sugar, it has a number of 1, which is like, holy cow, carrots don't affect your blood sugar at all, because it's so much of them. Because carbohydrates, fiber is carbohydrate. It's just undigestible carbohydrate. So if you ever seen like soluble fiber and insoluble fiber and complex carbs, like simple carbs, complex carbs, well, super complex carbs, you could call it, would be fiber. Because they're so complex, they can't even be digested by the human digestive system. So that's why a carrot, for example, and you can just sense it, chewing up a carrot, that is just, it's just pure fiber. Like I said, it's crunchy water. I just finished out my calories. I just ate a bunch of like 6 or 8 big juicy sticks of celery. It was just so good, but had my peanut butter with it, so I blew out my calories for the day. I actually had a ton of calories left. It was only 5 o'clock, so it was about an hour ago. And I looked I had a salad a couple hours ago, and I was like, I just kind of want to snack on. I was like, oh, I got this big bag of celery, chopped it all up, cleaned it up, and then I was like, well, this is only like 10 calories for all this celery, and then I have this little bit of peanut butter. I'm gonna not buy any more peanut butter after this one, though. I didn't throw it away. The other one was almost empty. I didn't realize it, so I threw that one away. And this one just has like a little, maybe 10% of that jar. There's probably only like 4 or 5 ounces left in there. So so again, I want to bring this up because I find it very I don't know, this really helps me. It's just got to be a mental thing. But seeing these chips and You say, well, I mean, I don't know if I was eating like while going to work, I don't know if I'd bring these along. Although I have in the past that when I first started using these was about 2006 or seven. I don't know. I just thought of it as a way to have a little fun way. I think poker, gambling online. What's the what do you call that game? You know what I'm talking about. Texas Hold'em had got all popular, and I bought these chips like at a mall because Texas Hold'em was popular, and these are like the super heavy ones, so they're kind of cool. But anyway, I tracked my food all day today. I did go out for lunch with a friend. We're planning our camping trip, and I had a bowl of pho. And I really don't know how to count the calories for that thing, so I just kind of highballed it and counted it as like 500 calories. And then I had a couple salads today, and then I did have a cookie at the auto dealership. I brought my car in for service, and they had cookies and tea and coffee and stuff. So I had a cookie, and I kind of highballed it as far as like how many calories were in it. And then I got home and I had like 500 or 600 calories left, and I was like, I'm just gonna eat some peanut butter with celery and just call it a day. So that's only 2,000 calories though. So, I feel like I've been eating all day. I feel stuffed. I feel full of energy. I did notice when I ate the pho, because it was a way bigger meal. It's a ton of broth, which has little to no calories. It's like a bone broth with veggies in it and herbs and stuff. So that's nothing. And then some thin sliced beef. It's a very small amount. It's got to be 2 ounces or less. So there you're only looking at 150 calories maybe total so far, and then it has some like rice noodles. So if I count, even if it's like not even close to the amount of like rice noodles that's in a pack of ramen noodles, but maybe like half that, maybe not even, maybe a third of that. So a couple hundred calories. So I just counted it as 500 calories. I'm sure it's probably not more than four, but maybe it was, because this is what I was about to say. The moral of that story, the point of that story was I felt a little tired after. And I'm keying off of that. Like, these 400 calorie meals do not make me tired. They actually make me feel good. And I don't feel all full. I feel like I could go right to the gym and work out after the meal. Where when you eat, 1,000 calories at once, you do not want to do anything, So I had watched a trainer guy on YouTube before talking about like the amount of food you eat should be the amount where you could like run a lap around the track immediately after eating. That's how small of a meal where your stomach is only the size of your fist. So I mean that's like not much bigger than an apple. So if you ate an apple, your stomach is literally full, and then but we eat a volume to just stretch it out. All right, like I said the other day when I go live early, it's only 6 o'clock right now, and no live viewers. There's somebody comes on every time. At least they hit the like button this time, which is awesome. Thank you for that. And then, speaking of thank you, I got like maybe close to 10 new subscribers since yesterday. So, well, it looks like 8 so far, but it is early. Sometimes I get quite a few more subscribers. This is actually kind of late in the evening a lot of the time. And so we got time. It's only 6 o'clock. Oh, and then yesterday I was talking about, a little hobby. And I had like just to burn up time, because you got to do something in between your meals. So I bought my little Speed Champions 007 little race car, or a little Aston Martin vehicle, Lego vehicle, 298 pieces. And because I didn't know, I was like, I don't know how good I'm going to be at these. I don't know how long it's going to take me. I mean, it said 8 years and up, so I was pretty sure intellectually, I was on par with them. But then I built it last night in between, like right after my stream, because I had eaten before the stream. And I didn't want to eat. And I was like, you know what? I'll just build a Lego model now, and that'll burn. And it seemed like it took a long time, but I think it took about an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes, something like that. It's funny because it's like hundreds of pieces on the inside that you can't even see any of them. but it's pretty detailed for, a Lego model. I really like it. And I think it was maybe 15, or it was less than $20, just something to do. I suppose I could always take it apart and do it again at a different time, but I'm highly doubting I will do that. I'll probably just buy more. So that was fun. Once I get organized better here, I'll be facing the wall this way again. And I got a little new bookshelf. I had the little 9 cubes I told you I bought yesterday. I put one of them together today, and half of my books, a lot of my books are in there. All my board games are back over here now. My bed got twisted around. I'm gonna figure this place out. So what else do we got today, guys? So yeah, welcome to the new subscribers. Thanks for joining the team. We're here to just document a guy that's not giving up, trying something different. But I'll admit, it's a lot of fasting. It's the majority of why I'm losing weight in the last, this journey kicked off. It really kicked off January 23rd, 2016, but I didn't start the channel then. I started the channel on looks like December 20th, somewhere around there. No, that's when I started. That's when I weighed in and started the fasting. It was probably more like December 5th or between the 5th and the 10th. I have to go back and look where I made that first video. I think it was December 5th, actually. And just started making some positive changes in my life and trying to create positive habits. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, all these self-help books and motivational speakers, and, they all have a ton of great information and a wealth of knowledge and experience to get the job done. But really, it's all in the Bible. I mean, God created us. He knows our mind and intellect and emotions and spirit and soul better than we do. And the words of the Bible are as encouraging as any motivational book you're ever going to find. And they're using the same ones. I almost want to write a motivational book about only like just drawn from the Bible. Maybe not like verse for verse, because you could just read it, but like my interpretation of that verse and how I use it as a self-help verse. If there's a publisher out there that wants to help me write that book, we're going to get kicking on that. So we still have the goal of April 1st to be 218 pounds. And look in here, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7 more 96-hour fasts. And I've already done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've done 6 96-hour fasts. And what did I say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I got 7 to go. So I'm 23 pounds down so far. And if I lose 23 more pounds and get to 46 pounds down, I'll be a little short of the 218. But like I said, that 218 is actually on April 1st, which will be 4 days after this last fast, because this last fast will end on March 28th. And then if I'm in striking distance of the 218, I'm just going to fast 5, 6, 7, maybe even up to 8 days, and then weigh in on the 1st. So it ends up being a total of 13 96-hour fasts between December 20th and April 1st. So that is all going good. So let's get a little stand up, a little spinorama here. Make sure we can see me when I'm standing up. It's nothing impressive yet, guys. Don't lose me. Okay, so can't remember if I flexed on the other one or not, but let's do that. So there's still weight to lose. I remember I did that. I don't know how far away I was, but so I don't feel too ashamed of what my body looks like, because like I said, I just have the self-confidence and the motivation to know what it's gonna look like. And I want to document for myself, like, look, this is where you were, and this is where you got to. And I already feel like I already won. I just have to go through the motions now. I did my research, and I did my failing and my failing and my failing over and over and over. Oh, and I'm feeling good about the process. So I'm pretty excited to see on the next 4-day fast. If I'm not below, like, I'm just going to admit it now because I weighed 247 on, what was that, January 31st. So now I get, today's the second day of eating. So I have 2 more days of eating these small meals, keep it down to like 2,000. I got the 2,000 chips, the 20 chips for the 100 on each one for 2,000. And remember, the other day when I started using them, I was looking for 24 of them because I thought I had a pack of 25, but I think I lost 5 of them. So I found 20 of them. But then I'm kind of glad I didn't after I started using them the last couple of days, because if this is all I have to eat, it gives me, because I know I've cheated and I know I'm not perfect and I accept myself for what I am. It gives me that 400, 500, 600 calorie buffer zone of beyond the chips, where it's like, okay, you weren't supposed to eat anything, but you went and snuck a snack at 10 o'clock before you went to bed. And it's like, well, okay, it feels like a cheat, but then I was still under my my basal metabolic rate anyway. So, like I said, at my weight, I could probably eat right about 2,400, maybe close to 2,500 calories a day with the amount I work out. I'm not like crazy working out or nothing, but I'm getting in there. I'm putting in my time. I'm hitting the reps. Yesterday I didn't work out today, but yesterday, I did. I can't remember if I talked about what I did. I think I said I just went to the gym. But I mean, I did like a little 10-minute warm up on the treadmill, nothing big, just walking, watching my heart rate go up a little bit, And then I did like a 5-minute like circuit workout with like just kettlebells and push-ups. And then I did a bunch of crunches. And then I pumped some weights. What did I pump some? Oh no, then I did the I was gonna go pump some weights, but it was packed at the gym. And I did my hand thing again. And I keep one of these times, somebody, if you watch this video, because speaking of how many people watch the videos, remember, it was like a month ago. I said, hey, thanks. It seems like about 25 people watching my videos. And now it's like 50 within the first 24 hours. And then, within a couple days, it's tending to be more in the 60 or 70. And then sometimes after a week or so, some of my videos have like 100 views or over 100 views. I think the most views I have on any video that isn't being advertised, because the one video has like 40,000 views. Like, don't look at that one. That one's like that. There's ads out for that one, so people see that one. But it's still like close to 300. So I'm just happy that people are engaging and getting on board with me, and the encouragement to see people subscribe to my channel is a great motivator for me. Like throughout the day, I'm even at the gym, I'm thinking, all right, you just hit 600 subscribers. You can't let them down. Get a hard workout in. You got to lose weight. You got to feel great. You got to get that A1C down. And I'm really glad I ran into that guy yesterday telling me about that doctor, because I've been watching his videos, but just kind of intermittently, not really picking and choosing which. So then I got on his channel. I was subscribed, and I just didn't know the guy's name, and found some videos. What happens when you cut out sugar, and then the other one, it rolled into the don't eat fruit because it's so full of sugar, and I'm not 100% sure if I agree, but he's a doctor, and I gotta think he done his research. When they're not selling anything, like he's not making money to say don't eat fruit. And you say, well, Zach, he's got I didn't look how many subscribers he got, but I'm sure he's making money on YouTube. But he's making money on YouTube no matter what he says. He's a doctor. He can say this is what I found, and there's all kinds of YouTube channels with doctors. I mean, doctors are realizing they pretty much have an automatic successful YouTube channel just because people respect them and their medical advice. And but I think if people would do a little more research as far as how much nutrition training do doctors get, to get your doctorate, do you even need to have many classes in nutrition? And the answer is barely any, because there's doctors out there on YouTube too that'll admit it. And the ones that admit it, I tend to be a little more trusting of, because when they say, hey, I know what to tell you to eat because I'm a doctor, it's like, well, that doesn't mean hardly anything to me. if you are a doctor and then you decided to do your own research, and you're intelligent because you got your doctorate degree, and and then you did your own, you're looking into what's destroying people, and it's like sugar. Oh, and then Dr. Berg, that was his name. He did bring up too, which I really like, because I know that my dad got diabetes when I was like early teenager. I don't know, I might have been 12 or 13 or somewhere in there. But I knew from back then that he didn't eat much corn. Everybody knows to cut out carbs as far as diabetes, like don't eat pasta, bread, rice, alcohol. Although some alcohols, like whiskey is like bourbon is not too bad. It's distilled out and all the grain is out of it. That'd be a very minimal amount, though. I don't know why I threw that in there, but my point was, like, I knew from my dad getting diabetes when I was so young that he didn't eat much corn, peas, or potatoes either, which are vegetables. And then Dr. Berg had just brought it up, well, whenever he made the video, but I just watched the video, that, those are high starchy vegetables. And I've known it the whole time. Like, since 2016, I like peas. I'm not a super big fan of like canned corn, and I mean, corn on the cob is okay, but I mean, if you're eating it plain, are you saying it's that good to eat plain? Because no, you're sopping it in butter and salt. It's like, yeah, butter and salt is delicious. And then you put it on cardboard, it tastes almost the same as corn, right? So I never ate that much corn, but the peas. But so since 2016, when I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, 11.2 A1C, I've eaten very little corn, very little peas, very little potatoes. And speaking of little potatoes, when I do buy potatoes, I tend to buy them little ones, because I seem to be able to just ration them out to myself a little better. I'll just I'll get the little bag of about, like, I don't know, a pound or two. I don't know, small. And they're just like, yeah, they're probably like as big as a chip. And, you could throw 2, 3, 4 of those in with breakfast or lunch or whatever. And it's easy. It's easier to control that carb intake. But after listening to Berg, I think, could just get more disciplined with these small meals now, because this little life hack, I am loving it. Where did I even come up with these 400 calorie meals? It was another YouTube channel. It was like a personal trainer guy, and I had talked about it as well. As I know, my problem is chasing that big huge meal. Even as I'm talking, guys, I am like stuffed, because I've eaten so many vegetables today. Like, I have not eaten these many vegetables. I bet you between yesterday and today is probably the most veggies I've ever eaten in 48 hours, because it's just like lettuce and carrots, celery, onions, peppers. I just piling them in the salad, pea pods, cucumbers, you know, two of them salads yesterday, one or two of them today. Was it two of them today or one? I think I just had one salad today. What did I have for breakfast today? I think I had, I used the little meat and veggies and mushrooms and stuff that I had left over from yesterday, where I made a couple pizzas, and I just heated that meat and veggies up and threw it on a plate, and then I threw 3 fried eggs on top, fried in olive oil, and that came out to about 400 calories, because the eggs had 60 calories each, so that was 180 with a little olive oil in there, so I counted it to be like 250, and then I looked at the meat and the veggies, and I was like, that's got to be about 150. Because it was only a couple ounces, maybe 3 ounces it was chorizo meat, with onions and peppers and mushrooms and stuff in there. So it was a really good breakfast. Like, I put the meat down, kind of smashed it down on the plate, so it's like a little layer, and then put the eggs on top, and it was kind of like hashing eggs, but without potatoes. Oh, speaking of that, I have some radishes in the fridge somewhere. Those are awesome replacement for potatoes. If you've ever made a roast with carrots and onions, and you're used to putting potatoes in it, try putting radishes in it. And I promise, like, because you're putting beef broth and you're seasoning it up with salt and pepper and everything, right? And then you're letting it cook for a few hours, and then you got the onions in there, then you add the carrots and the radishes now instead of potatoes, and then you let those cook for a couple more hours, whatever, until they're soft. Those radishes, it loses all of that radish flavor if you're eating a raw radish, which I can eat raw radishes. Like, I'll say I like them, but I don't love them. Like, I'm just dying to eat a bag of radishes at any time. But when you put it in with the roast, like a chuck roast with onions and seasoned up and beef broth and stuff, those radishes, man, you can barely tell the difference. It tastes almost exactly like potatoes with no carbs, no starch like that. Radishes have like almost no they're again, they're crunchy water. They're just fiber holding water and they literally taste just like the potatoes. Ah, man, I'm like it is so close. I can't believe I haven't known about it my whole life. It could have saved so many carbs of eating all the potatoes. Um, so feeling good about the dietary changes. So, so saying that, getting so used to these smaller meals now. I'm not really being super disciplined though, as far as like, I mean, I'm being pretty disciplined with the no carbs and the no sugar, and keeping it like the carb balanced tortilla to make the pizza, and eating this meat and eggs, and I haven't eaten any nuts for like two or couple of rounds of 4 days of eating. So today, eating the peanut butter was the first time, but I mean, really, I don't think peanuts are very good for you anyway. And peanut butter, I know, isn't good for you at all. I mean, this second ingredient in this is sugar. It's peanuts and sugar and hydrogenated vegetable oil. So, I mean, sugar is just poisonous to your body, especially when you're fat. And, the healthy sugar and fruits, I'll say, okay, you're fit and you're about to go on a long journey and you want to survive that journey. You're walking, let's say, halfway around the Mediterranean like Jesus did and Paul did. And, the disciples are spreading the word. Well, then fruits would be your go-to because, you couldn't carry enough vegetables to sustain you. If you're going to, if you're walking, let's just say 15, 20 miles a day or whatever they walk, and you're having to pack food with you. I mean, you'd have to carry hundreds of pounds of vegetables, to get anywhere, where you could pack on some nuts and fruits, and you'd just be loaded with calories. So, let's just say there's a plan for God, God's natural foods that He created. There's a plan for them all, and when you're just I guess if I have to think of my life, except for like my hobbies, is like working out and walking and jogging and going hiking and camping, the rest of my life is pretty sedimentary. I mean, in my job, I mean, I walk around quite a bit at my job, but like as far as all the different bid jobs at my place of employment, they're almost all sitting in one place. Like you don't move. I thankfully, I purposely bid on a job where I get to move around and get some extra exercise and walk up and downstairs if I want. I can do whatever I want, just walk around. I just keep reading this peanut butter, and it's just almost kind of blowing my mind. Like, for one, I'm not even sure peanuts are very good for you to begin with, and then sugar and hydrogenated oil are the second. You know what? I'm gonna go throw this away right now. You guys talk me into it. I'm gonna spit in it, and then I'm gonna throw it in the garbage so I won't eat it. All right, guys. The peanut butter is off the menu. All right. See, you can make there's a live action of Zach making a choice to read the label and make a healthy, health conscious decision to to improve my health. Hydrogenated oils are terrible for your circulatory system, your blood vessels, and sugar is literally poisonous to every single cell in your body. There's Dr. Berg had a video. I probably should go watch it, but he's talking about, like why so many senior citizens have like glaucoma, uh, the eye disease, where I wear these glasses, but really I don't need them to like drive or anything. But like looking at this chip right here, it is blurry. So this top of this doesn't even have a prescription, and then the bottom, they're not bifocals, but they're transition. So basically, they're just reading glasses on the bottom. But it's because the sugar attacks every cell in your body. So I just reading that peanut butter. My God, you gotta take this stuff serious. Like these are deadly, poisonous chemicals. You say, Zach, there's sugar in nature, like not like that, not in that concentrated form. You're not going to go find some food growing somewhere that it's just packed full of hydrogenated oil. And let's just say that sugar was cane sugar, or beet sugar. It's probably made with beet sugar if it was manufactured in America, which I think it was. It was like a generic brand of peanut butter. So, you take 100 pounds of beets to make a pound of sugar or whatever it is, it's because beets are not exactly packed full of sugar. You're having to render them down to get the sugar out of them. So it's like, oh, sure, so you're eating just a ridiculously high amount of sugar compared to what actually came natural in the food that they're getting it from. And then I don't even know how they make hydrogenated oil. I mean, I know they take like vegetable oil and how they get it out of corn. And I mean, we already mentioned how corn isn't good for you anyway, and corn oil, vegetable oil, is terrible. So, so good. We're making some positive change. That was like a little baby step. I'm not kidding you guys. The salad and the celery is just got me so full right now. I don't even want to drink water because I'm so stuffed. And I didn't even overeat, like calories wise. It's amazing. And looking at the calories of things, and being such a meat eater my whole life. I mean, growing up, my mother was an amazing cook. Like you see these little posts on social media say something like, "What's the one meal you dreaded having to eat when you were a child?" And it's like me, like none. My mother's food was bomb. Every single thing she made was just delicious. But that food pyramid came out just basically right as I was born. And, my parents didn't have any way to know that it was so inaccurate. And so, the base of that pyramid, what you're supposed to eat the most of at the bottom there was grains, It says right on there bread, pasta, rice, cereals. And really, that thing is upside down. You should be eating the least of those to none. But let's not get too far off track on that. My point was I ate a lot of meat. It was a lot of meat and potatoes growing up. It was a lot of like roast and steaks and pork chops and even if it was spaghetti, it had meatballs. If it was hot dish, it had hamburger. If it was, everything had meat. And just now that I'm counting the calories because my meals have to have only 400 calories, like because the meat has so much fat, and the fat, if you like 1 gram of protein has 4 calories, 1 gram of carbohydrate has 4 calories, 1 gram of fat has 9 calories. So like, not that fat's bad for you, or I'm not saying like eat less fat, but when your meal has to be 400 calories or less, you just don't have room for much meat. So, and I think that's going to be a big key for me too. Like when I made that first pizza a couple days ago, I took a pound of hamburger out. I had it thawed out in the fridge already, and I literally just cut the end off of the tube and squeezed out just like 2 ounces of hamburger to fry up with the onions and peppers and mushrooms to put on the pizza, because it's the highest calorie thing to put on there, and I have to keep it such a low calorie count. So it's nice. It's really and it's a super filling and super delicious meal, especially for 400. I do kind of want to stick to these 400 calorie meals. I don't think I want to change this anytime soon, but we'll see. Because I could stick to the 400 calorie meals and still change up the eating windows and the macros, so I could say I'm going to eat 400 calories, but all keto, or I can say I'm going to eat 400 calorie meals, but I'm going to do 16-8, so that I eat at, noon, 2, 4, 6, and 8, and eat 400 calorie meals between noon and 8, because then you can intermittent fast. But, I think if you're keeping these meals this small, that you really don't need to intermittent fast. And then, like I said, starting April 1st, if I can stay with these light meals, I mean, I will stay with these light meals all the rest of February, all of March, and then we'll weigh in April 1st. And then I'll roll right into just eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And we'll see, then I can eat like 700, 800 calorie breakfast, and 800 calorie lunch, 700 calorie dinner, something like that, say, and be in that 2,300 calorie range, plus working out. And like I said, you should be able to lose weight every day that you're eating even. I just don't have that quite figured out yet. And that's why I knew I could lose weight if I do 96-hour fast. So, man, I rewatched my video from last night and the sound was off. Like my mouth and the sound were not even close to aligned. So I don't know if I had a setting messed up last night, But I hope that setting is not also messed up today. And if it is, I'm gonna know to go check the settings again, because if there was like a microphone delay set or something like that. But all right, guys, I'm running out of notes. I ran out of notes like 20 minutes ago, and I'm running out of thoughts rambling around in my mind, and I'm gonna kind of want to get back to working on my little efficiency here in my life. So, guys, we got to jump on board with Jesus. He is the winning team. The battle's over. He won. If you choose him, you win. Bottom line. And then we can get a little more serious about studying his word and learning about what we're supposed to be and do, and then choose in this life. And it'd be a lot happier, a lot more content, and a lot more ability to weather any storm and know that Christ has got your back. The longer I've gone now, I've dated like 3 women in a row over the last like 3-4 years. One girlfriend to the next, pretty rapidly. Not too big of a gap in between each one as far as time wise. And after this last breakup a few months back, it had been falling apart all summer, but then I finally just had to move on. And it was very tough at first. The first 2 weeks, I was just like, if she calls me, I'm running back. And then a month into it, it was like, okay, I'm getting strong, but man, I hope she don't call me. And now I'm to the point where, hey, it was great. It was an interesting relationship, and we gave it our best, and we're just not compatible. And we both need, I always take responsibility for my part. Like I said, I was at the gym yesterday, and there's all these beautiful women in there, and I'm mature enough now to know that it's like, hey, Zach, you're not ready. You're just not ready to chase after a woman that when you haven't really chased after yourself yet. You haven't given yourself the love that I always want to just give it away. And that's what love is. I always say that, love is something you give, not something you get. But in my personal journey here, I'm learning that it's something I have to get from myself, which is I never thought of it. And I had a little mental glitch this morning in my car too. I was driving somewhere. What was I doing this morning? I can't remember. I've been running around all day, and I was considering what advice I would give myself, if like the best advice you'd give yourself. And then something clicked in my mind, and it was like, well, Zach, like I'm envisioning myself talking on my YouTube channel, and I'm driving, and I'm thinking, oh, Zach, well, say it better this way. Say it as advice that you would give to somebody you love. Like, because I think of my sons, especially, and my daughters I love also, but my sons are closer to me than my daughters are. I don't know, maybe just the male bonding, but and then like 5 seconds later, I thought, what did I just do? I just said, instead of giving myself advice, I should give it to somebody I love. And I realized I was just saying I don't love myself, like, but at least I caught it. And I actually was laughing in the car, like, my God, Zach, you've probably been doing this your whole life. And, like the woman at the gym the other day that was flirting with me a little bit, she caught me like putting myself down, because I'll try to like belittle myself to people, because people seem to like be intimidated by me or threatened by my I don't even know, my cockiness or my confidence or my appearance. And I get, I don't know, I probably don't look all that intimidating with my shirt off and my belly hanging out. But when I got a properly fitting t-shirt, and I got my guns out, and my tattoos are showing on my arms anyway, and especially when I don't have my glasses on and my military type haircut. I don't know, maybe some people find me slightly threatening, intimidating type guy. So I mean, I've learned to like just belittle myself to people, just to kind of calm their, my excuse was that I'm calming their apprehension of me, so that I can get along with them, and I could show that I'm not hostile or aggressive in any way. I've told people, like, when I enter the room, you just got a lot safer, because like my morals and my virtues are to defend the needy and help the helpless. And, I don't have any ill will towards anybody on the earth. I mean, I don't want to see rapists continue to be alive, and I don't want to see murderers get out of prison and go murder again. I'm not trying trying to propagate that. But I mean, they need help just like everybody else does. But their help awaits them in heaven, and we got to send them there quickly. So anyway, so I'm recognizing when the woman caught me at the gym the other day, and then I caught myself today. So that was kind of a big step. Like I caught myself like not being positive. And I started reading another book too. I don't know if I want to recommend it, but if I can think of it real quick, it's Make Your Brain Your Bee. Make Your Brain Your Bitch. Something like that on Audible. And it was kind of a tough love, just like, hey, this is what you, and it's the same thing. It's all these self-help books are very similar. They just take a different angle to say the same things. But this particular one was like, just build up your confidence. It's your brain. The name of the book itself is like, you want to be fit. You got to get your brain fit. You want to be, you want to get good at something. You got to get it in your head first that you're gonna try, and you're gonna never give up, and you're gonna continue to fight. And so anyway, guys, I think it's about time to wrap it up. Thank you for all the live viewers. Hit that like button if you come along. It helps the YouTube algorithm. I'll be happy to. The more likes on your videos, potentially could show up more on end screens and stuff. And welcome to the new subscribers. And for the people that aren't subscribed to my channel, which I've seen, I have tons and tons of views lately of non-subscribed people. So I hope you will consider to at least subscribe, maybe hit that like button and share the videos to your friends and family. To just grow the community. I got a base of a few people that comment pretty regularly when I go live. If I go later, I went a little too early today. I think I need to go live more like 7:30 instead of like this time I went at more like 10 to 6. And so it's been like 45 minutes. It's finally 6:30. And there's been one live viewer off and on this whole time, and nobody's commented or anything, which is fine too. Thanks for checking out the videos. Somebody was just on, and I said, hit that like button, and they did not hit the like button. But somebody hit one, so it's got one like. I think my record was 5 live viewers, so that's the goal I'm trying to beat every evening. I just got to hit that right day and that right time, and then have an interesting video where people don't get off and on and off and on. Because last night's video, I had probably over 6 viewers, but just not all at once. It was like 1 or 2 or 3, and then 2 and 1, and then 2 and 3, and then 2 and 1. So I should go look how many live viewers actually were on last night. It might even have been close to 10, but they're just not at once. This is where the little baby channels start out. This channel itself, because you hear me talking about it's slow growth, and it's a journey, and it's a long way to get to build up the channel. And I'm not looking at like, oh, I'm gonna just get rich overnight on YouTube. It's like, for one, that's not even why I started the channel. I didn't even really I didn't even know how to monetize a channel when I sent that first video out. But after I made about 10 videos, and somebody had mentioned that, oh, you copyright your material. I'm like, copyright it? Like, for what? I'm just sitting on my phone. I'm sitting on my laptop talking. What would I copyright? And then I looked in like, oh, I knew you could monetize them, but I just didn't know how, or what the standards were, how many subscribers you had to have. I didn't know anything about the public watch hours. You got to have a lot of people got to just watch your videos. And hopefully I can just create interesting content that people will watch, the whole video. I do notice the longer video I make, it gets more watch hours, because some people watch the whole video no matter what. And some people, just kind of watch a few minutes here and there. So, all right, guys, jump on board with Jesus, because he loves you. I love you. And I will catch you guys again tomorrow evening.